ever since 2003, has been doing a pretty good job being in the middle between compact and mid-size SUVs. For 2016, a completely redesigned Sorento carries on with this formula, but it's now more refined and a little bigger this time around than the previous generation. So, let's go ahead and check out this 2016 Kia Sorento SX. Now, as far as styling goes on this new Sorento, I think it's quite evolutionary this time around. Of course, you still have Kia's Tiger Nose corporate front grille, and you can easily tell it's a Kia by that front grille right there. And then on this SX trim, you have these red painted calipers that you also had on the last generation Sorento. But this time around, it's also a little bit more masculine, a little bit more muscular and beefed up, and more aggressive and in your face with this new headlight design. But overall, I think it's a quite handsome looking vehicle. Now, since we do have the SX trim here, it does come pretty loaded. We have a panoramic sunroof on this Sorento, a full-on leather interior, navigation system, as well as LED accenting lights. Now here goes the key fob for the vehicle. As you can see, it's a fairly high quality looking key fob design. You have your lock, unlock to release your tailgate. You do have a power tailgate, and then your panic button too, of course. Now it is a white exterior color with smart key access on the driver's door and front passenger door. You also do have chrome exterior door handles. Power driver's seat with power recline and power lumbar, and you also do have a power adjustable thigh extension. Has a full-on two-toned light gray and dark gray leather interior. Now, stepping on inside of the new Sorento, as you can see, it's a fairly high quality looking cabin. And where they really improved on in the interior the most over the previous generation was build quality and materials. It's a lot better in this generation Sorento than the last one. But pretty stylish looking cabin design. Now you do have push button ignition, of course. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing is a 3.3 liter V6. Leather wrapped steering wheel. Love the steering wheel rim, has a decent grip to it. Now coming to your transmission, in typical Kia fashion, you have a 6-speed automatic. Nowadays that's pretty normal stuff. However, I would love to see more gears for improved fuel economy. But you do have manual shiftability. And then putting the vehicle into reverse displays your rear view camera with guidance lines. And you also do have trajectory, as well as rear cross traffic alert. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. All windows are fully automatic. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood and check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors with LED turn signal indicators, and you also do have blind spot detection. You also do have 19-inch alloy wheels. Halogen projector beam headlights with LED accenting lights, and you also do have your halogen fog lights. Like I said, it's a more aggressive and beefed up appearance this time around, much more muscular. Now, under the hood here, like I said, you will find the optional 3.3 liter V6 producing 290 horses at 6,400 RPM and 252 pound-feet of torque at 5,300 RPM, with EPA estimates with the all-wheel drive system being a reasonable 17 in the city and 23 on the highway, running on regular unleaded fuel. Now your base powertrain on the Sorento is going to be a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, and then if you do get the 5-passenger Sorento, you can get the 2 liter 4-cylinder turbo, and that's a new powertrain for the 2016 model year. But we'll see what this baby could do when we hit the road later in the video. Now if you do get the 5-passenger version of the Sorento, competitors include the Nissan Rogue, Chevrolet Equinox, as well as the Honda CR-V. Now if you get the 7-passenger version like how we have here, competitors include the Toyota Highlander, Honda Pilot, Ford Explorer, as well as the Chevrolet Traverse. Now pricing of the Sorento starts at the base trim, which is the L model, and that starts at $24,900, and it comes pretty well equipped with LED accenting lights, Bluetooth phone connectivity, as well as driver mode select. Then you step up to the LX trim, which starts at $26,200. Then you have the EX, which starts at $31,100. The SX, like how we have here, starts at $37,900. And then finally, the SX Limited starts at $39,900. Coming to the rear, you have LED taillights, rear reflectors, a rear window wiper with a rear window defroster, and rear parking sensors too. And like I said, you do have rear cross traffic alert. Very stylish. Now, like I said, EPA estimates are 17 in the city, 23 on the highway. Total vehicle price for this particular one is $40,895. Of course, you have all of your basic power necessities: power windows, door locks, power mirrors. You also do have power folding exterior mirrors too. Memory seat settings for 2 people. Nice soft touch padded armrest. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Now there is a decent sense of pretty good sophistication in the 2016 Kia Sorento's ride that its predecessors lacked, as even the top of the line models with their big 19-inch wheels managed to soak up road bumps pretty good. Kia's midsize crossover is also pretty darn quiet, especially in the EX trim and above. So count the 2016 Sorento as a very comfortable family hauler. Now every 2016 Sorento comes with the driver mode select, which features 3 modes: normal, sport, and eco, that alter transmission shift points and steering effort. Although I could detect the changes in the former, it was difficult to kind of differentiate between the steering settings, at least in our SX test vehicle. It's important to note though that the SX and SX Limited actually have a different steering system that should yield a greater sense of precision and feel than the other trims. Now with this 3.3 liter V6 engine, it definitely has enough power on tap here for your daily commute, with 290 horses. Now Kia expects most people to buy the new Sorento with the base 4-cylinder engine, and to be honest, I recommend avoiding that powertrain as it doesn't really have enough power to motivate this crossover here. Now if you can live without 7 seats, I recommend going with the turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, as I found the power delivery to be a little bit better than the V6 engine. Now overall, I like the steering on the Sorento, And I think it provides a decent balance between ride comfort and pretty good steering. But remember that this is no sports car here, but it's much better than the previous generation Sorento. I could really feel for where the SUV is trying to go. Very nice. Now, as far as build quality and materials go inside of the Sorento here, it's much better than the previous generation in build quality. You won't find that many panel gaps inside of here compared to the last generation. And same goes with the materials. Materials is much better than the previous generation. You have a nice soft touch upper door panel. Down here on the armrest is also nice soft touch. It's decently padded on the mid door panel. And then up here it's also a nice soft touch material with nice premium stitching. Also nice and padded right here. And then where your knees might hit, it's also nice and soft touch right here. I was pretty surprised about that. But overall, build quality and materials is pretty good inside of the Sorento. Now, I wasn't really a big fan of the last generation in terms of its steering wheel design, and this is a much better steering wheel here. It's much more modern looking, and I love the controls on them too. And then I love the grip the steering wheel has as well. Now, coming to the controls, of course you have all of your basic controls like your Bluetooth phone controls, voice recognition, and your steering wheel mounted audio controls. And then coming over here you have your cruise control buttons, and then this button right here controls your TFT instrument cluster, which I'll get to a little later in the video. But overall, it's a very nice looking steering wheel. You also do have a manually tilting and telescoping steering wheel. Decent range of adjustment. Now coming down here, you have your auxiliary input, your USB port, and two 12-volt power outlets. And you also do have a little storage cubby down there. And then right here you will find your cup holders, and then your lockable center differential, your parking sensors off button, and then your different driver selectable modes. And then coming to the center console, it's nice and padded and stitched, very high quality. Then you also do have another USB port down there. And then the center console storage is okay. Coming up here you have your auto dimming rear view mirror with garage home link. Your sunglass container, very high quality, lined with felt too. And then you have your interior illumination lighting, LEDs. And then your panoramic sunroof gives the cabin a much more open, airy feel. And you also do have your sliding shade. Pretty nice. This is also LED too. A lot of manufacturers just make this LED and then just make this normal lights, but that's also LED as well. Headliner is also pretty high quality, nice and plush. You have this fabric headliner, it's really nice. Now coming to the main center stack controls, I love how utilitarian it looks, but it's also pretty stylish and high quality looking at the same time, and it's pretty simple and easy to use as well. Really big knobs and buttons here. You have dual zone automatic climate control, your temperatures are right here, and then you have your front window defroster, rear window defroster, your different zones, and it'll display up on the touchscreen display. And then you have your fan speeds, and then when you click on climate right here, it goes to your climate control on the touchscreen display. Then you have your recycling mode too. Pretty easy to figure out. And then down here you have your heated seats. Now coming over here, you have your gauge brightness, and then you have your blind spot detection, and then the orange light will illuminate if you turned it on. And then you have your 115 volt power outlet if you want to turn that on, and then your traction control off button. Now coming to the main head unit, you have Kia's UVO system with the 8-inch touchscreen display. Coming to your radio, you have your AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, HD radio on this bad boy too. Coming to your media, your different media sources include Bluetooth, streaming audio, your USB, and then your auxiliary input too. And then coming to UVO, you have your UVO e-services, you have roadside assistance, your points of interest, your e-services guide, My Car Zone, Parking Minder, and your vehicle diagnostics. And then when you want to access the navigation system, you actually do have to have an SD card and slide it right there. And then coming to your phone, of course, you have an integrated dial pad. You can hook up your phone on here, have all your contacts, of course, all that good stuff. And then coming to info, you can access Pandora Internet Radio, SoundHound, and then you have apps that you could download. A quick guide, voice commands, Sirius XM data, and then your climate. And then coming to setup, you can change many different settings like the navigation, voice recognition, sound, display, etc. And then you also do have an optical disk drive up here too. But overall, we've seen this head unit many times before, and I love this head unit. Really great responsiveness, the rendering and the graphics are great too, and it's very user-friendly, and the buttons are really clear, easy to read, the font is great, and it's just a really great infotainment system. And you also do have the Infinity Premium audio sound system on this bad boy too. Now, coming to the TFT instrument cluster, I'm a pretty big fan of it, and we've seen it many times before on many Kia vehicles. But basically it's like a little mini Kia UVO system. You have your digital speedometer right there, and then your exterior temperature readout is on the bottom. And then you have your different driver selectable modes, which will appear up on this instrument cluster as well. And then, like I said, it's all controlled by the buttons on the steering wheel. Then it shows you what radio station you're on, and then your tire pressure as well. And then user settings like your driver assistance, door, tailgate, lights, sound, etc. Now, as far as the seats go, the seats are pretty comfortable, great for long road trips, and I love the nice soft pillowy headrests. And then the side bolstering, there's lots of it, and when I was going around corners in this vehicle, they really hug you in tight. Love the side bolstering. And then the thigh support is pretty good too. Now, as far as visibility goes, it's pretty average for the class. There's a decent amount of side glass area. The A-pillar isn't too thick. Outward visibility is okay. And then rearward visibility isn't too shabby either. Alright, and let's go ahead and shut down the Sorento. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Power tailgate. Now back here you will find a decent amount of cargo capacity if you're comparing this to a compact crossover with the third row folded down. Now to fold it down, you just pull this, easy as that. And then to fold down the second row, just pull these levers right here. And then they come right down. Really easy to do. Like I said, you do have a power tailgate. Now build quality and materials do follow through in the rear back here. Still nice and soft touch. And on the upper door panel too. Great build quality. And you do have a rear sunshade back here. Now these seats do recline and they do slide forward and aft for a more comfortable experience. Now, most notably with this new redesign, you will definitely find more passenger space, especially in the second row. Something that the previous generation was lacking was decent passenger space in the second row. but this one is okay, I have to say. You do have dual map pockets back here, rear air vents, a USB port and a 12 volt power outlet, and you do have an 115 volt power outlet. Rear armrest with cup holders. Seats are pretty comfortable back here. Thigh support is okay. Overall, it's a pretty comfortable experience. Definitely love that panoramic sunroof. Powered passenger seat with power recline. The glove box, nice and damped. Alrighty. So the Kia Sorento is bigger, more sophisticated, and much more enjoyable to drive for 2016, making it a very appealing alternative to 5 and 7 passenger SUVs that were previously a class above it. Kia's midsize crossover should definitely be worth putting on your test drive list.